Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. This is your boy Case coming at you guys again with another Tower of Fantasy video. Today, I'm actually going to be talking about a pretty universal question that everyone pretty much typically asks when it comes to new gacha games. And this question is pretty much geared towards small spenders, whales. You know, it doesn't really matter how much you spend, but is Tower of Fantasy worth investing into? So I'm going to be talking about that question today, and I'm going to be addressing, you know, what I've seen from the CN standpoint, where we're at currently in that game, so that you guys are kind of caught up on to date how this game is actually shaping up and characters are actually shaping up as well. So in terms of Tower of Fantasy, right now in CN, here's what I've actually come to notice. Is it worth to invest into this game? Well, let's just kind of talk about it from a kind of a whale standpoint, because I'll use Genshin as a reference because I like to use that as a reference because it's a game that everyone typically knows of. If I was to use another game, most people might not know what that game is. But if we talk about Genshin, you know, in Genshin Impact, there are C6 characters. And the way that Genshin actually works is that if you have a C6 character, you can pretty much clear all the content in the entire game. And that's all you need. Now, in Tower of Fantasy, things don't actually work that way. If you will in Tower of Fantasy, here's what it actually will guarantee you. It will actually guarantee you a much larger damage output than the average player, and it will also guarantee you 90% of the units in the game. The only units that you probably won't get is if you don't find value in a certain limited banner character and you decide to skip them. That's the only way. But even then, you know, after those characters reruns, they tend to typically get added to the standard banner. So there's that. There's a flip side to that as well. There's a benefit to that as well. But in Tower of Fantasy, all Welling pretty much guarantees you is a higher damage output and most of the units. Now, what's the downside of not welling in this game? Well, in Tower of Fantasy is a party friendly game, meaning you need to have the right comps in order to make certain characters viable. So as new limited banner characters are being released, you know, maybe they might need certain characters in order to make them viable, to get the highest output out of them, and you might not have that unit. That's the downfall of Tower of Fantasies, you know, when it comes to the spending side. You know, in this game, there is also, this is just my opinion, you know, you guys don't have to believe me or not, you're going to hear differently from other players, but I believe in this game there is definitely a power creep. I believe that the characters that are in 2.0 are much more viable. You will get a lot more value out of them than the early on character, the early roster characters. Now, the early roster characters are still viable in the game, you know, they're not completely phased out, but you're gonna find out as 2.0 comes out, when it does, and you guys see it, that those characters that's within that update are they're just on a different level. And I think most of you guys will find that, like, hey, I actually kind of might have wished that I would have waited on investing for these characters. So those are just my thoughts. I wanted to keep it honest with you guys so that you guys understand where you're kind of getting yourself into. And if I was to say, should you invest into this game? Should you not invest into this game? Honestly, like I said, this one's in your court. If you want to invest into this game, by all means, go ahead. But, you know, I also want you guys to recognize that we're in a era right now in mobile gaming right now where new games are approaching very quickly and are on the horizon. Right now, Tower Fantasy is getting ready to launch on August 10th, but we also have the Zenless Zone Zero Beta getting ready to release here pretty soon. We also have Aether Gazer getting ready to release here pretty soon. We also have Wuthering Waves that is getting ready to, I would say, it hasn't been given a official closed beta or anything like that, but I do expect Wuthering Waves to probably release maybe by next summer. So if you are one of those players who are just kind of on the fence with Tower of Fantasy, and you're just like, you know, I actually think that if one of these other games were to release, it might shift my focus, and I would focus more on that game. It might not be viable for you to actually invest into this game. So that's what I think about this game in terms of right now. Hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of this video. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think in terms of do you think it's worth investing into? This is one of the most free-to-play friendly games I have ever played, guys. You guys will have pretty much all the units in a month to 2 months time frame. So you guys will not be missing out on much. But let me know down in the comment section below, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for this game? Are you guys looking forward to it? As always, guys, this is your boy Kaze, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.